Hey guys, Glock42. How the hell is everybody? Well, there you are looking at quite possibly the ugliest firearm I have ever owned in my life. And yes, I went and bought this sight unseen. It is the EMEI T97NSR in 5.56 223. Now the big thing with this gun, firearm up in Canada, it's non-restricted. So that means I can take it out wherever I so desire, shoot where it's safe to shoot. It's not registered, it's non-restricted. I can go out and shoot wherever I like. Big plus for Canadian gun owners, especially in 223. Now, having said that, if an AR-15 was non-restricted, I wouldn't have even considered a firearm like this. But since it is, there we go. Alright, let's start off here on the basically let's call it the passenger side of the rifle. First of all, as you can see, it's a semi-automatic magazine-fed short-stroke gas piston-operated firearm. Uses standard AR mags, which is a huge plus. So you can use the pin 5-round magazines, going from just a cheap steel like this to the PM mags. You can use the 10-round LAR mags on it, as well as the 5-round Beowulf magazines that you can actually legally put 18 rounds of 223 in. They're hard to find, but that's legal up here. So that's a big plus. Let's face it, there's not too much non-restricted semi-automatics up here. There's the Ruger Mini 14 and the Caltech SU16, both of which I've owned. Past tense. The Mini 14, honestly, I wish I'd have kept it. The SU16, don't miss it at all. Alright, let's start right back here. Start at the back end here. Right here, magazine release. Really poorly located, guys. You're going to have to reach around either with your left hand when you shoulder this, or take your hand off of here, pop it out, drops through. So, magazine release, big miss. Huge, huge miss. So, moving forward, pistol grip, trigger. Uses a transfer bar that goes back to the action. It's a polymer trigger with a coil spring on there wrapped around that pin you can see right there. Now, first of all, there's no traction on here at all. This is slippery as slippery can be. So, miss on there, there's no traction on here. So, we've proved that it's safe. Bang, it's empty, there's nothing in here. Here's the trigger pull, guys. Alright, we pull back. We pull back, that's not even engaging yet. That's just getting the tension out of the tension bar. Bring it back, we bring it back. Okay, now we're starting to load up. We're loading up, we're loading up, we're loading up. Bang. Very long, spongy trigger pull. In fact, it reminds me a lot of my old Sterling that was fired from an open bolt. It had that long, heavy pull, and then bang, away it went. That's what it feels like. So be prepared for that. Alright, moving forward, guys, right here we've got an ambidextrous cocking handle, but unfortunately for North Americans with this carry handle, there's not a lot of room. You got to get your fingers in there, pull it back, let her go like that. So that's not such a bad thing, although it would be nice if this kind of pivoted over to the left and you could actually just use your hand over like this, grab it and pull it back. So that's kind of a neutral. I'll call that a neutral. I won't really call this a miss, I'll call it a neutral. Moving forward, the fore end is very slippery. It's grooved, but the plastic is super slick. No traction there whatsoever. We've got your standard AK style front sight. So if you've got an SKS or an AK front sight tool, that's what you're going to need to do elevation or windage on this sight. There's no movement on the back sight whatsoever. Moving forward, we've got the 2-position adjustable gas port between 1 and 2. 0 is, I believe, is a cutoff. Straight up is a cutoff. To the top is over to the right is 2. Move it over. You start off at position 1 and go from there. Number 2 is a little bit bigger port. Moving forward, we have a cross-pinned muzzle brake. Now, I don't know if a AR style flash suppressor muzzle brake is going to work on this, but it's fairly, you know, it's cast. It doesn't look all that high end on it. This barrel width right here, it's a fairly thin barrel. This is the profile all the way back to the receiver. So flipping the gun over here, let's look at the passenger side, starting at the back. All right, here's a miss. Here's a really big miss in my opinion. Is this right way back here, tucked up under your chin, is the safety. That position is safe, that position is fire. Now if you want to rack your action open all the way, it has to be open on fire. Safe will not allow you to rack it open all the way. Moving ahead, we've got the magazine well. We've got a takedown pin. There's the other takedown pin. Takedown on this rifle is incredibly simple. 2 pins that you can knock out by hand. The rest of it basically almost falls apart. It's a very, very easy rifle to disassemble. Now that's about it here for the driver's side. You've also got a very small little sling support right there that's welded right on, so it's a good solid steady support. And you also have one right up here, another sling stud swivel right there, so it's got provisions to mount a sling to it. Now we're talking about that front sight. Front sight's a little bit different here, guys. Let's bring it up here so you can see the darn thing. It actually rolls over. The first position is 1, then you roll it up to 3, then you roll it up to 5. Now I'm going to assume 1, 3, and 5 are meters, 100 meters, 200 meters, and 300 meters. So that could very well be, I may be mistaken, but that would just make the most sense. It also has a very funky post on it, which I have no idea what it's for because there's nothing on in the manual on it. So we'll have to check. So very short sight radius, guys. Very AK-like in the sight radius, so I don't know what the accuracy is going to be like. And as you can see, there is no provisions from the factory to put any optics on it. There's no rails here. You can't put any rails on there. There's nothing for any lights. There's nothing for lasers. There's no provisions whatsoever to mount optics. You're going to have to order the optics mounting bar that mounts in here with a Picatinny rail on top that you can actually put a red dot or maybe an medium eye relief scope on it. So we're going to see how this gun shoots just with open sights, then we'll look at getting some optics on it. But as it stands, guys, there's no easy way of putting any type of optics on this without the proper mounts and bases. So there you have it. We talked a little bit about the operating procedures. It does come with an operating manual, which unfortunately is written in your typical Chinese to English. So the first 4 pages are given the do's and don'ts, such as verification of the target and objects behind it. Shots cannot be retrieved. Very good. So it's got some good stuff, but just the way it's written. So as in away from alcoholic drinks and medicines when using the rifle. The shooter has to keep a clear head during shooting. Do not operate the rifle after drinking alcoholic drinks or taking medicines. So there's some good points on it, but maybe we don't need to burn up 5 pages of the manual on that. So parts breakdown. Parts breakdown is pretty simple on this rifle. It gives you a little bit, you have to read, and you have to read through it, such as, warning, it is forbidden to touch the trigger before shooting. Warning, in any case, it is strictly prohibited to point the rifle at any non-target objects. Okay, which is great. That's all good stuff. So it doesn't give me a twist rate on this barrel. I'll have to check on that, but it's saying that it's 3.9 kgs. And I don't have my calculator along. I have no idea what 3.9 kgs is. It looked to be around 8 pounds on my scale. So it does give you a little bit of a opening, breaking it down. Not really good, not a great manual, but you know what? I figured it out, and it took me honestly about 10 minutes first time to go through and field strip it. It's pretty simple to field strip. I guess you could almost call it a blend of AR and AK. And it's got an AK-ish piston with an AR type bolt and whatnot. So there you have it, guys. The T97NSR in 5.56, non-restricted Canada. So am I going to tell you to go out and buy it, or am I going to tell you not to buy it? Jury's out. I've got to go shoot this thing and see what kind of accuracy it is. The last time I was gushing over a firearm was the Keltec SU-16. I went out and put a few hundred rounds through it day 1. Day 2 wasn't bad. By day 3, I sold it. That's all I'm going to say about it. So So I hope I have better luck with this than the SU16. It honestly, I hate to say it, compared to the Caltech SU16, this feels like it's a little bit better quality. There's a lot of polymer on this. This is all polymer. This is all polymer. This top rail is all polymer. So if you want to take it out and give it a Duracoat job, it's going to be awfully easy to do that, which I probably will if I decide to keep this. So getting back to my original point, keep it, buy one or not. Keep in mind that it's got a bad trigger. It's got lousy positioning on this, lousy positioning for the magazine mag drop, and it's got lousy positioning on the safety. So if you can live with those, and if it shoots well, and you get a reasonably good price on it, yeah, maybe. Price wise, this is gone listing from anywhere from $850 to $1,050 depending on which supplier you've got from it. The supplier that was listing it at $850 doesn't have any yet. The supplier that was listing it at $1,050 is where I got mine from. I've been waiting for 2 years for this, so I just said, you know what, I'll pay another $150 and to hell with it, I'm gonna get it. Or $200 I guess. So there it is, guys. Thanks for watching. Next one you'll see is this thing in action out shooting. It's either going to be a big kaboom, it's either going to be lots of fails, or it's going to run and chug along with no problems. Alright guys, later.